Who is the villain between Zendaya and her sister? I think the real question here is how much of this is just real genuine family love and how much is just, I don't know, a little bit of jealousy mixed with missed opportunities? Zendaya and her half-sister Tanja? You've probably heard about their drama. Tanja's been in the news talking about how Zendaya's been, well, kinda distant. And she's not holding back. She says Zendaya treated her like a stranger. Let's start with this. Tanja's been living under the shadow of Zendaya's fame, but it seems like every time she tried to reach out, she hit a wall. She says Zendaya barely acknowledged her when they saw each other. And I get it, that has to sting. But what exactly has Tanja done to try and build a relationship before now? Because when she talks about trying to connect, it's like she waited until Zendaya was a global star to make her move. Is that fair? Does she deserve that closeness just because Zendaya made it big? She claims her dad always favored the other kids, and that Zendaya didn't even look at her as a sister. That's rough. It's gotta sting, especially when you're talking about family, the people who should have your back. But hold up, let's think about this for a second. Tanja's been talking about not feeling included in the family. I mean, do you really think she had the time to focus on these kinds of relationships while building her career? Let's put ourselves in Zendaya's shoes for a second. She was a kid, probably busy with school, acting, and trying to keep everything together. Could Zendaya have done more to reach out to Tanja? Sure. But do we really know if Tanja was putting in any effort before Zendaya hit it big? She says she was ignored, but when did she try? Was it only after Zendaya became an international star? Here's the real kicker though. When Tanja says Zendaya treated her like a stranger at their grandmother's funeral, with that awkward, one-armed hug, that's the moment that gets me. I get it, you want a real connection with your sister, especially in tough moments like a funeral. But I can't help but wonder if Tanja's expectations were just too high. It sounds like she wanted an instant, deep sister bond, but that takes time. Zendaya's not just going to drop everything to be her best friend, because they share blood. Does Tanja want Zendaya to just forget about the years they didn't have a relationship? And here's where we really dive into the awkwardness of it all. Let's be real, family can be a mess, especially when you have this kind of age gap and no real foundation for a relationship. Tanja, coming in at 51, and Zendaya at 28, they're almost from completely different generations. There's a lot of missed time in between there. So when Tanja says she felt like a fan at that moment, like Zendaya didn't treat her like family, I get the hurt, but I also can't ignore the reality. They've never been close, and it takes more than a few awkward encounters to suddenly fix that. No one's just gonna flip a switch and feel like family overnight. And honestly, the whole thing got me thinking, what's the point of reaching out to family members just when you need them? Or when they're on top? Tanja says she tried to contact Zendaya when she had cancer, but didn't get any help. That's heartbreaking, no doubt. But why now? Why not earlier? Why not when Zendaya was struggling herself, before the fame, before everything? It's easy to look at Zendaya and criticize her, especially when she's the one in the public eye. But you've gotta wonder if she's always been the one expected to carry the weight of the family drama on her shoulders. It's one thing to try and reconnect after years of silence, but I think Tanja's story tells us something bigger. Family relationships are complicated. They're not always this picture-perfect thing we see on social media. Sometimes things just don't line up. And when they do, it's a lot harder than just giving a hug and calling it good. At the end of the day, we can't expect people to fix what wasn't built over years of effort. Zendaya's success doesn't mean she automatically has to be the one to carry that burden. And maybe, just maybe, Tanja's trying to get her own share of the spotlight now that Zendaya's a superstar. Maybe it's time we start looking at the real reasons behind these family feuds, not just who's right or wrong. What do you think? Who's really in the wrong here? Let me know in the comments.